The Film Size Crew review The Kitchen. Now, boys, I was worried about this because I didn't clarify, but you're aware...
Fridges.
It's a movie. We didn't just have to review any kitchen. We had to review a movie.
Is something burning? Do you smell that? Is something burning?
That's you. It's definitely you.
That's the smell of this hot take from the new movie The Kitchen, starring Melissa McCarthy.
Oh.
Hey team, Angus, Strachan here, and welcome to the Film Slice Podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Kane Diggly Wheelie Kane Dog.
Thank you.
And the man formerly known as Brodiddly Doo Broadman Richards. This week he is known as...
Bread bin.
Bread Bin. Old Double B. Here we go. This week we are reviewing The Kitchen. Kane Dogs, you want to hit us up with that IMDb summary?
I can indeed.
IMDb summary for you and me.
The wives of New York gangsters in Hell's Kitchen in 1970s continue to operate their husbands' racketeering after they're locked up in prison.
Nice one. Racketeering.
That's
an intense sport.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the unfortunate circumstances when, while you're playing with tennis, someone lets go of their racket, flies to the other person's face, and they tear up racketeering.
Yeah, sweet. All right, so let's move on. When did you see the movie and what did you think?
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit.
I saw the movie today with Broman.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it earlier today.
With anyone or
I didn't think it was that good.
the company or the movie?
Let's go with both.
That's right. Kane Dogs, sorry you were saying?
I also didn't like the movie.
Good.
I think I'm a swell guy.
Cool. And what did you think of the movie?
It's a no good. It's real bad. No, it's
a no good.
It's a no good. No, sorry, I'm just coming back from the emotional abuse. No, it's real shit. It starts off being one of those, like, okay, this is definitely going to be a C to B grade kind of film, and then it makes its way straight to F. I don't know how. It just slowly dawdles down that direction.
Right.
It's
It was
real
bad.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I saw the movie 2 days ago, and I thought it was fine. It's not a movie that I would enjoy watching. But
It's not a movie anyone would enjoy watching.
I think there is an audience for it, but we'll get into it.
Melissa McCarthy when she's 50 and reminiscing.
How old is Melissa? She's probably close to 50 now, right?
Is she 50 already? Jesus.
I don't know.
She's 49.
Yeah, she's 49.
Yeah,
She's...
well, so the film's
Next
ended
year.
her next year when she's reminiscing and she can't think past this year.
Very good. Lads, you know how every week I put up on Instagram what film we're reviewing, and I get our slicey slices, our audience to kind of, give us the 1-2, bit of a back and forth.
By that you mean
all
Brody,
that kind of stuff.
Brody under an alias writes an insult to me, and then Brody under a different alias defends me and then insults me again.
Whoa, who's this Brody guy? What's happening? Old Breadbeard here.
Breadbeard.
Jordan?
Breadbin.
What's happening, man?
Breadbeard. Are you a pirate or are you a kitchen thing?
Many people have bread in their beers. Beers? What?
I have bread in my beer all the time.
Angus has bread in his beer all the time.
Tastes very good.
I have bread in my beard all the time, but no one has bread in a bin.
I have beer in my bin.
I guess a lot of people put bread in a bin, especially if it goes off.
I've been in a bin. Anyway, yeah, so I do Instagram. Kane Dogs, you're on Facey.
I am. Most of the time.
You're on Twitter. By the way, I know we had a bit of trouble last week with the old Twitter. Smooth sailing this week?
No. Had to cancel the accounts on some unfortunate circumstances there, mainly around a certain tweet directed at Tom Holland and Sadie. Anyway, so we've got some new Twitter accounts. The new ones.
Rest in peace, Tom Holland.
I've made one for each of us. So Jordan, you're going to be Tiffany is Baddish.
Okay.
Tiffany is Baddish.
Tiffany is Baddish.
Yeah, Angus, you are Elizabeth who gives a toss.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And I'm me missing me car keys. So hit us up on any of those Twitter accounts.
How do you spell that? Just at me MEM.
No, MISSAMECARKEYS. Me missing me car keys.
Excellent.
Gold.
Okay,
So
cool.
hit us up at any of us to chat with
Found his
us.
car keys.
Yeah, if you found them, please at me. Send me a picture. Send them over to me. That'd be great.
Please,
Probably in the bread bin.
that's it. Please at Breadbin. At me missing me car keys.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so no one hit you up on Twitter then. That's a bit unfortunate.
Unfortunately, lots of people
Unlucky.
did hit me up on Twitter,
Yeah.
but Swedish hackers,
Yeah.
those Swedes being so evil. What?
Yeah, classic Swedes.
Classic.
I don't
That's
think-
why
I
they're
don't
the
think
bad
that's a
guys
thing.
in every movie.
Yeah, don't think that's a thing.
Cool.
I think,
really
I think the
nice.
Swedish people are actually generally quite lovely.
They're quite lovely people.
Unfortunately, there is one hacker in
It's
Sweden.
making you all look bad.
Yeah, and they're just some of the things they said. It was in Swedish. I don't know what it was, but I'm assuming it was quite bad.
So what we're saying is,
It was probably really nice.
Oh, yeah.
They're all really nice people.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Sweet. Well, we did get some replies from our Instagram followers.
Yeah, I bet we
So
Hey.
this is from not.filmslash.host.
oh, what an original
He
thing.
says, "What a dog pile,"
Okay, yeah,
about
that's
this
fair
movie, which is fair enough. And then he's then replied to himself, saying, "At not.filmslash.host, kind of like Fappo's face."
Yep, that's fair enough.
Oh. I mean, if I get insulted, I have to then accept that that's my nickname, and I refuse. So I don't know who that Fabbo guy is, but
and we've
he's
got-
probably going through some pretty severe depression now.
And we've got Hooverman91, who said, "I would rather crawl over a bed than watch this movie."
Doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I guess like you'd probably wouldn't mind watching the movie then. He's then replied to himself, Hooverman90 at Hooverman91. By the way, my bed is made from razor blades and moldy toenails.
Oh,
there it is.
there
it
okay,
is.
there
That's
it
the
is.
one.
Yeah,
Right,
very good.
Why?
And that's-
Why sleep literally anywhere else? Why
Yeah.
not do that?
Yeah, it's a good question. Maybe you should at Hooverman91.
I would, but I was hacked by Swedish hackers. I can't.
Sweet, and that's what we got on Instagram. Cane Dogs, anyone hit you up on Facey?
Absolutely, I'm sure they did.
Excellent.
In a world where I'd remembered to put it up.
Right,
But
Good, good,
I
good,
didn't
good, good, good.
because I didn't even remember I was doing this movie until I got halfway through my weekend and went. In fact, I literally sent Brody a message asking if we could see it today at 4:30 a.m. last night because it was then that my brain went. Yeah, 'cause
I got that message at 4:30 p.m. today.
Yeah, I know, I don't know
And
why.
some weird thing happened where it took that long to get to me. So I did get Jordan's second message at 11 a.m. today saying, "Do you want to see the movie today?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
the thing was, it had hit quite early in the Sunday morning, quite late on the I had a late Saturday night, and I was like, "What am I doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh, I've got the podcast." And then I thought, "What are we reviewing?" Then I realised that I hadn't seen what we were reviewing.
Yeah. What a doozy. Sweet. Well, that's what our Slicey Slices thought of the kitchen.
Look, we really appreciate you all writing in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm so glad. If you're listening to this and you wrote in this week, we really appreciate
Legends.
it. And if not,
Cheers.
it's fine. Write in next week, I guess.
All right. Would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to? Cane Dogs. Anyone at all?
No, I honestly don't. Yeah, nah.
Bibbidi bee.
There's nothing in this movie to see.
Yeah.
There's not a good bloke in this movie, and by bloke I'm including females. There's just not a good character in this movie.
Fair enough. All right.
just-
Well,
there isn't-
so if you're not a good bloke / female, then
female
you'd probably
bloke.
like this.
Yeah.
You'd probably feel like you could.
So if you're a bad bloke / female bloke, this movie's
Yeah.
right up your alley.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Sweet. Let's head into spoilers.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
All right, we are in the spoiler section where we dissect and divulge everything about the film. You've been warned. Watch out, I'll shoot you in the face.
Okay. Jesus.
Spoiler. Spoiler, here it comes.
Jesus.
Bang.
Oh.
Bangity
Gotcha.
boo. And Fappo's face is gone.
First things first, anyone got a cinema dick?
Oh, I did.
Take it
I
away.
remember it.
It was.
Oh, yeah. Right, I can't remember that. Alright, I do have a cinema dick. Not gonna lie. It's not entirely related to the movie or the cinema. But
Just kind of peeved off and I
this
want to
is
get it
just-
off my chest.
Yeah, it's basically that. This is just something I'm annoyed at, generally speaking, and it's related to the cinema because it was pointed out to me today. But we're in winter over here. Oh, we're just about to hit spring, and we're just in spring. We've just hit spring, right?
Spring, yeah.
But it's still going to rain all week coming, and it's rained for the past month. And this weekend has maybe been the two nicest days weather-wise that we've had in the past 3 to 4 months. And
really
I
nice.
spent all of yesterday inside a shopping centre. And then I spent all of today inside a bloody movie theatre, and it was a lovely sunny day when we went into the cinema, and when we came out, there had been a torrential flood. It
Yeah.
was real wet.
It was
pouring
heavy.
down rain.
It was no good.
It was heavy.
So fuck this movie for wasting a good day.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have seen it while it was raining, I guess, but
I
on you.
I expected it to still be sunny when I came out.
So I got a bit of a cinema saint.
oh, okay.
Cinema saint is called The Back Row.
Yeah,
What a say. Me and Jordan went in, literally 4 people in the cinema.
Yeah.
2 people sat really up front and off to the left, which was a weird choice.
Yeah.
They were old, so maybe something's not quite right there.
They're nearsighted and also slightly to the right sighted.
There was 2 more people that were also right at the front, but of like the second part, as it's like starts to go up high. And then there was one person right up the back. So me and Jordan sat in the middle. We sat there for a little bit, and then I was like, do you want to sit at the back so we can just be on our phones the entire time? And Jordan was like, fuck yeah. So we went up the back.
We just knew this movie was going to be...
This movie was... when going into this movie, I knew that this film had less than half on IMDb. It got a 5.2. Half is 5.5. It had a 5.2. It's got less than half of the score on IMDb. So I was just like, this is going to be so bad. So yeah, up the back. Every now and then, I was just like, ugh. I brought up my phone, just did a bit of web surfing. It was like, this is nice. And I was like, I had to go back to the movie.
There's one great scene that happened, and it was the first time Brody put out his phone, and it's like a kingship, like a bond between me and Brody had been made, where we both clearly knew that this is the moment where the movie became bad to shit, and it was fantastic.
What moment was that?
So in the film, one of the main protagonists reveals that she's secretly an antagonist, and she'd planned the whole thing.
Tiffany Haddish,
even though it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
and it was clearly just a lot of waffling on for the sake of having a twist, and none of it made sense or added up.
It didn't really come to anything.
It didn't make any sense or go anywhere.
Yeah. So I was just like, ugh. So I just took out my phone and I was just like, I can't with this film. I just can't even.
We just can't even.
Oh man,
we're only good at odding. We can't even.
Very good.
What about Angus? Any dicks?
No, I had no dicks.
My favourite thing was your Snapchat that you sent me of the D-box.
Walking past the D-box.
Yeah, the old D-box. What a stupid.
Yeah, I actually saw the first ad I've seen for the D-box, and it has like one of those narrators going like, "Come and experience the D-box."
What's the tagline for the D-box? Like feel the way it feels or whatever.
Feel it all or something.
Feel it all, I think.
The D-box. So feel it all.
So stupid.
How did that make it?
Feel it all.
Oh,
feel it
all.
all.
So just for the people that didn't listen to last week's podcast, do you want to bringing people up to speed very quickly?
Okay, very quickly. My cinema is going under renovations. My local cinema is going under renovations at the moment. They're bringing in all these new things. We've got all cinemas have recliner seats from now on, which is pretty cool. Awesome. They've also brought in this 4D experience where, you know, the chairs move and it sprays water. There's and
people that work there and they'll stand next to you with water bottles.
And they've decided to call that cinema the D-box.
Why the D-box?
I think because
4D? 4D.
Yeah.
D-box.
It's not the 4D box, it's just the D box.
Yeah, but it's just D box. If it was 4D box,
well, they're trying to
that's
be like,
fine.
They're trying to call the cinema like the box, and they're like, this is the box.
D box. Yeah,
that might be worse.
This
Whoever came
D-box.
up with that is a D box.
Yeah. Anyway, it was very funny. So from now on, every time I go to the cinemas,
there's like a giant neon sign that says the D box.
Yeah,
feel it all.
Yeah, it's great. In fact, next time I go to the cinemas, I'll make sure to put it up on the Film Size Instagram account. On the story. And so make sure
and maybe on the Twitter account.
Subscribe to that.
Sub, please sub.
All right, let's move on to the film The Kitchen. Most positive thing about the film? Anyone?
I'll take it away. I liked the art design and the set design because I think it did a good job of being set in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yep.
I think a lot of the costumes, even though the costumes were kind of a bit random for the characters, there was no kind of like costume theme. I thought there was originally going to be one because at the beginning each of the characters is in different colors.
Yeah.
I was like, one of them's wearing purple, one of them's wearing blue, and one of them's wearing like a brown. And I was like, if they have that same theme throughout the entire film, I reckon that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then they completely mixed that up.
Got rid of that.
The next scene they're wearing completely different clothes, even though I think it was the same day. And so, but
who knows how much time passed in this?
There were still pretty good clothes. It was like years. It was like it was like a couple of
Felt
years.
Like years.
It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. No, that totally makes sense. Cane dogs. Yep. Most positive thing about the film.
Yeah. Look, I don't have many, but I will say I did really like Claire and Gabriel's arc for the most part of this movie. So that
Elizabeth Moss and Domhnall Gleeson?
Yes.
Domhnall? Is that his name? I know, he's been in a bunch of stuff. He was
Domhnall, yep.
He was in Star Wars.
And an episode of Black Mirror, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably other stuff as well. He's an
Yeah,
actor.
it's just those two things.
He was in a time traveling like romantic comedy. Romantic comedy? It might have just been a romantic drama. I can't remember what it was called.
Cool.
I can find him on that. So yeah, I didn't mind their arc. I thought it was kind of cool to watch her character become sort of twisted and sort of socially deformed, and for his character to be on a path of almost an emotional redemption, and then for that to get completely flipped.
Yeah.
That aspect of it I did really enjoy, but it was just so chopped up and tonally all
Much
over
like
the place.
the bloody bodies that were chopping up and...
Yeah, I guess I enjoyed watching her descent into this chaotic, sort of insane type
A film
character.
about her without the other two could have been
would have been really
more
cool.
interesting.
Definitely,
And I really liked his character, how he just sort of is this broken sort of guy who's slowly
He's kind of
learning to...
already been there kind of thing, yeah.
And that aspect of this movie I really enjoyed. But there wasn't enough in it. And then when she was killed, I was also really taken back because I didn't expect this movie to have the balls to do something like that.
Yeah.
The gunplay in this movie was actually pretty good. The gunplay and the violence, it was quite confronting.
Definitely.
And I think it was actually done well.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I liked that aspect. It's just that within the 2-hour mark of this movie, that was scattered quite briefly.
Yeah.
Her character was probably the best character for like motivation wise.
Yeah.
It was like everything she did, I was just like, yeah, I completely understand that
She
for
was
her
also
character.
the most consistent, I think.
And
Whereas the
kind
other
of-
characters really changed their motive from scene to scene.
I think she was, even though she like ended up being kind of like a psychopath, she was also kind of like the most likable.
Yeah.
Because you knew what she had gone through. And so you were like, yeah, someone who went through that could easily take this left turn and do this kind of stuff.
With the right sort of pushes and nudges. Yeah. So, out of all my positives, I think that's the part where I'd put down my phone or I'd just generally pay attention and be like, I'm interested in this timeline.
Yeah.
Two best actors as well.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Moss and
Yeah.
Donald Gleason.
Yeah, for sure. Bro, man, totally agree with you. Like every time they shot a gun or something, it was important. Like there wasn't a lot of like wasted bullets and like just kind of chaos for the sake of chaos. And every time someone got shot, it was heavy.
I also feel like they did it on an offbeat. I
Yeah.
feel like in a lot of movies,
Yeah.
we're so used to seeing like some sort of arrangement of like shot, reverse shot, then the gun goes off, and you kind of you know where you're expecting the gun to go off. And I feel like the gun would go off that beat that you're so used to.
They also
and so every time the gun went off, it was just like it's just like a little bit
Too quick or
a little bit confronting because you're expecting to be like a space or like them to like say a line, especially in the scene where Claire shoots her husband.
Yeah, exactly.
He comes back into the apartment and he's kind of like giving her shit. He like punches her in the stomach. She pulls out a gun and you're expecting her to say something or something like
monologue.
that. Yeah, and you're expecting there to be like a shot of him, then to go back a shot of her, and then like back to him. And she kind of pulls out a gun. She like holds it, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And it's just bang, and he's like got a shot, and it's like through his heart, and he falls down, and it's just like, oh, it was so confronting. It was done really well, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. So I liked that. I actually like the soundtrack. Fleetwood Mac, I thought was good to kind of fit it in that
pros and cons with the soundtrack
in that era.
I like the music they chose.
Yeah.
I do not like their overall sound design.
Yeah.
They put a lot of background music in scenes
that didn't need it.
That didn't need it, and it made it feel very kind of TV soapy.
Yeah,
There was so many scenes where two people were talking to each other, and then like a really inspiring song would be slowly and like subtly like lifted up in the background, and it'd just be like, this is so weird. It's like if this was just silence, or if like you waited till an end point and then brought in a hopeful song, something like that. But it was just because it was like so soft in the background, it just felt like every TV show I'd ever sat through and forgotten about.
Fair enough. Yeah. The other thing that I really liked, which is odd because normally I don't like it, but I think they used it well, is throughout the film they intersperse these kind of drone shots or these helicopter shots of the city of Hell's Kitchen. And normally in like a B-grade rom-com, it's literally just an establishing shot of, big city or like a city monument or something somewhere.
It was just a bridge.
It's a bridge or something, but in this, there were different styles of shots, and it was mostly at night, but they used the colors of the cars and the city lights and stuff like that. Like, there was kind of, at the start, it was very light and bustling, and obviously the start of the movie. Towards the middle, there's this really good shot of, basically it was just like one string of cars going up the middle of the shot, but it was from behind, so it was just a red line, which I really like because it was like, you know, the three of them are kind of coming into one. And then after that, when they kind of disperse, it's kind of gotten a lot darker and like, there was like a lot of...
It was also all 70s. So like 70s like style buildings and vehicles and stuff like that. There's like subtle CGI that I think worked in like the benefit of this.
Definitely. So I think they use things like that really well. Like some of these shots were really well thought out, and like obviously the costumes and stuff were good as well. Let's head into what we didn't like about the film. Who would like to go first?
I got one right off the bat, and it's a bad CGI shot of three.
He's back, baby.
Oh man! So there's a bit where they kill a rabbi, or was he? Was he a rabbi? I think he was a rabbi.
A member of the Jewish community.
Yes. And there's a shot of three women like pushing some strollers or like prams, and it's just three women in front of a green screen with a really terrible backplate, and it didn't match the rest of the film, like the colors or the tone or anything. And then it cuts to them going and seeing the dead guy on the steps, and it's just like, one,
what?
That looked so terrible, and two, why was that necessary to be in the film? They could have just had the dead guy on the steps, or gone out and filmed something in any street, anywhere.
See, it probably
looks so terrible.
I reckon it was probably an afterthought where they're like, we don't need a reaction from anyone. We'll just shoot the dead rabbi like there, and then that's it, kind of thing. But then a producer would have come around and be like, it's not really, I don't really get it. We need a reaction shot or something. And so they would have had to put it in like really last minute.
Oh man, it looked bad.
Yeah.
It looked so bad.
Fair enough. Kane Diggity, worst thing about the film?
Yeah, I came away with clearly a lot of negatives about this film, but I think the one that ticks most of the other boxes overall is the consistency and tone for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the way this film feels is it's like someone wrote the script and then handed it to 5 different sort of directors or writers, or not writers because it's a script, but like directors and people that were in, and cinematographers and editors, and each group was in charge of making a different part of the film. And so we got this weird inconsistency in tone. So some of it felt really, really dark and gritty and grounded and heavy, and then some of it felt like Ocean's 11 quippy fun 80s background music, Guardians of the Galaxy type stuff, and then some of it was weirdly funny or like aimed to kind of be funny, and then some of it just felt like B grade, like sort of episode of Neighbours kind of drama, and it was so
blotchy,
weird. Yeah, so blotchy. But it's not even like the first act didn't match the second act. It was like from scene to scene there are things that just don't make sense in terms of tone. Like there'd be one scene where it is really dark and the audience is gonna feel that, and then the next scene just Fleetwood Mac and some catchy music and
you bloody killed him, you
some
bloody idiot,
walking down the street, or like
that's the bit where they cut to Australia and
it's like, you know, something really horrible has just happened, cut to them counting money and having a bit of a laugh, and it was just so off-putting. And the characters were like that as well in tone, in that clearly it was like the movie had been interpreted by different people on the day.
There's one part of what you're saying that really stands out for me in the film.
It's when
the three of them have just met the Italian mafia and like the boss, and they leave. They go out to a car. Waiting in the car is a guy. He's like driving a car. The three women, they walk up to the car.
Yeah, I know what scene you're talking about.
Melissa McCarthy walks up and she's like tries to open the door and it's like, oh, it's locked. And she says, it's locked. And she like taps on the window and he's like, oh, sorry. And then the guy unlocks it, and then the three of them get in the car.
Yeah.
And it's like, that added nothing to either of their characters. It was just something that happens in everyday life every now and then, and is probably one of the most boring things I could possibly think of to put into a film.
It seems like a McCarthy bit.
But it wasn't even funny, and it wasn't acted funny, and it was just one of those things where it's like, I have no idea why this was in the film.
Improvised, the guy just lock the car.
It was so bad. It was so terrible. I just watched it and just thought, what the hell was that? Why is this in this film? Why did this not get cut out of that page?
But even right in that scene as well, which is the part I thought you were about to bring up, is Claire threatens
McCarthy's.
No, the other one.
Baddish. Tiffany is baddish.
Haddish.
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish, who played Ruby. So when they're talking to that Italian guy, Ruby's like, yeah, we'll assassinate these people, and then if... What's his name? If Domhnall? Yeah, she's like, and if he gets in the way, we'll kill him too. And then they walk out, and Claire's like, if you dare insult him again... I'm like,
yeah, I'll kill you.
I thought you were all in this together. And like immediately, and then from there, everybody just starts hating each other. I'm like, what's going on? Like, it's clear that they're trying to establish conflict, but there was no grounding for that.
Yeah.
I'll let you go on with your negative before I smash this.
Yeah. Okay, so I think my biggest problem was there wasn't really a redemption arc for anyone.
It also just ends.
It just kind of ends, and it doesn't really make sense. Like, it's not one of those endings where you're like, oh, what's gonna happen now? It's just
and it's not a conclusion either.
I guess, yeah.
Like, they're all still the heads of they're still the head of the Irish mob.
Exactly.
And they're still there, and they're still probably gonna run into issues the next day.
Yeah.
But the movie's ended.
Yeah, that's it.
You can end the movie anywhere and have the same feeling, really. Yeah.
So all of the characters, they didn't really change. Like, through a story, normally you want to see like someone change. Like Cane Dogs, you were saying, Claire's character was the most interesting because she did have that change from being kind of a shy, timid girl to being a psychopath killer. At least that was a change, whereas none of the other characters really changed that much.
Ruby's character changed, but not naturally. Not in a good way. I think she just randomly became a villain halfway through the film.
Yeah, but I think there wasn't enough established at the start to show that she had changed. Like, maybe she just was that at the start and we didn't know. Yeah. Like, there wasn't anything different about that. The other thing I didn't like was, like, the whole point at the start of the film was like, yeah, we're going to take care of you, we're family, and family's like a big thing throughout this whole thing. And McCarthy's kind of arc is she's doing it for her kids. Like, she wants to look after her kids, and in that final bit where the husband takes the kids over as, like, just to make sure,
a bargaining chip,
like a bargaining chip kind of thing. And she's like, you bought our kids, like, our kids are our future, blah, blah, blah. And then she has that conversation with her dad in the church. And the dad's like, you did it for your kids, you did the right choice.
So weird.
And then McCarthy's just like, no, I did it for me. This is my time. I don't care about my kids. This is for me. You're like, well...
Just another left turn.
Yeah, like, this whole kind of story arc is like, you being
great
like, if family is... Because, like, all of the start of it is like, yeah, no, we should actually look after one another. Like, that's how we're going to get to the top.
Yeah, if the entire time she kept saying she's doing it for her kids, and it gets to the point where she's obviously not doing it for her kids are in danger because she's the head of the Irish mob.
Exactly.
It would have been great if when her husband in that moment... if he took the kids away and, like, tried to leave.
Yeah.
It's like, you're putting our kids in danger. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I thought was happening.
There's an arc. That's an arc.
When like, she couldn't find her kids, I totally thought that her husband had taken the kids and left.
Yeah.
Because she's the head of the Irish mob. Obviously, her kids are now more in danger than before.
Yeah.
Sorry, she's a shit mum as well, which is odd. Because there's a scene where... Because at the beginning, you sort of think... she's trying to do her best for her family. She's a good mum. And then there's later a scene, and I'm pretty sure it's even in the trailer... where her daughter goes, you look pretty, Mum. And she goes, pretty's just a tool women use to get what they want. And it's like, that's...
Sorry, what?
What do you...
Read the room.
Yeah, I'm so confused as to what that scene was meant to...
Yeah,
totally.
Because, like, that was that kind of, like, Breaking Bad kind of a moment where it's just, like, the stuff that she's doing in her other life is starting to bleed in to this life. But then that never went anywhere.
Yeah.
So this movie...
totally agree. Anything else on this film?
The end is really weird.
By the way, this is a DC film.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is...
me and Brody... when it came out, me and Brody were like,
of course it's shit.
Of course it's shit.
Because I'm pretty sure it's a comic book as well. I'm pretty sure it's a comic book.
Of course DC made another shit film.
Yeah.
Man.
But when that came on, when it's like DC, I'm like, okay, well, I mean, their thing is kind of gritty and dark and real, and like maybe they can make this work.
Except
it's a different
recently
concept.
They've been doing like Aquaman and Shazam.
Yeah.
But me and Brady were joking that it's like the CEO watched the film and was like, yeah, put our logo at the back.
He's like, can we take our logo off of it?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we won't put the logo there. We'll just write DC.
Yeah. I mean, so generically, this film has done what DC movies always do good, which is set design and all that kind of stuff, and kind of missed out on the main point of character development and characters.
So, well, even like the main thing that I thought this movie was going to be about was like the reason the men and the gangsters were doing shit was because they're just being shitty to everyone, and Melissa McCarthy was like, we could actually help this town.
Exactly,
and that's what they set out. And then at the end, she's meant to confront Ruby, and Ruby's clearly set her up to be shot. And when Ruby comes out to shoot her, Melissa McCarthy's character has got like half of the town there to support her. And I'm like, okay, it's sort of a good versus evil, and the way they showed that is that Melissa McCarthy's way of doing things is actually helping people. But then they make a deal, and she turns around, and Melissa McCarthy looks at all the people that were there to help her, and she goes, anyone got a problem with that? And then they storm out. And I was like...
The Red Seas
Sorry,
part.
I was so confused. I'm like, why are you yelling at those... What? I was so...
You just brought them all with you.
They were literally
They're on
ready
your
to...
side.
They're literally ready to jump in front of the bullet for you.
Mr. McCarkeys, what are you doing?
She turned around and just attacked everyone for no reason.
Sweet, that's what we thought of The Kitchen. Cane Dogs, next week we are reviewing...
Something else. I don't know. There's nothing else out. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know. I'll put it up on Facebook.
Going
Maybe
through...
Will you?
Depends if I think people are going to care.
Film Slice Podcast, just going through a bit of a dry spell at the moment. If you have any suggestions, please do actually let us know.
If there's something you
Instagram.
want us to review, tell
Twitter.
us.
Yeah, for sure.
You can reach us on our Twitters.
Yeah.
We'll also let you know what film we're doing on our Twitter account.
Definitely, yeah. Memissimi Kakis. Cool. All right, we'll see you next week, hopefully, if we find something to review. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Film Slice Podcast. That was our review of The Kitchen. Next week, tune in for a review of another room in the house or something else. Let us know. Please let us know. We really need suggestions.
If you have some ideas, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, bye. Love you.
My
Bye.
name's Fred.